We've all been to a musical and enjoyed the songs, the characters, and the general ambience. Did you ever wonder how a musical was created? You're about to find out. Stay tuned.
Welcome to The Better Part, a program by and for seniors and devoted to exploring the many facets of those better years of our lives. The name of our program was inspired by a quotation from Robert Browning. "Grow old along with me, the best is yet to be, the last of life for which the first was made." Now, sit back and enjoy a program made especially to provide seniors with useful information, plus some lighter moments to brighten your day.
I've always loved the theatre. I love the atmosphere and watching as the plot unfolds and being swept away by the music. Our guests today are two people who had never before written together and who created a musical called Necklace. I'm Val Jeffrey of The Better Part. We're about to find out how the magic of a musical production comes together. What might surprise you is that the creators of Necklace are both seniors, and the AARP magazine wrote an article about them, which just goes to prove that it's never too late to write your own musical. Please welcome Dale Porter and Tony Vandersteen. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Well, thanks for having us today.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Very nice.
Dale, how did you get the idea for the musical?
I was brought up in the 50s in the city of Glendale, California, which I like to call the land of green lawns and lemonade. And in its own way, it was very much a classic 50s town. And I always liked the mood of the 50s, and I was very interested in the family structure also, the way families function so much as a unit.
How did you come up with the name Necklace?
Yes, a good question, because originally the show was called 50s Family Life.
Oh, really?
And the necklace really wasn't even part of it. But on a trip to Paris, I went to a museum and I saw the Lady in the Unicorn tapestries, which I was very taken by. And in what I believe is the final tapestry, the lady is holding a jewelry box. She has just put a necklace into the jewelry box as a very important possession for her. And I got the idea right then that it would add some intrigue and mystery to the show to have sort of a magical necklace in the show.
How did you two meet?
I responded to a classified ad. Dale had an ad in the San Jose Mercury saying a composer needed, or composer wanted. And I'd done quite a bit of songwriting and thought, hey, maybe I can step up to this. Sounds like fun, so we did it.
So what appealed to you about this particular one?
Dale gave me the script to read, and I was taken with the drama, the family drama that had a sort of traumatic experience in the family going on, that had some potential really good drama that was interesting to write to, and then particularly with the necklace itself. I'd recently been on a trip to Egypt, up the Nile, to all of the shrines and the Luxor and the palaces and so forth, and the tombs, and just sort of fell in love with Egyptian culture. I'd love to study that much more thoroughly, but it gave me the idea that Necklace could be, an exotic overlay on the story of this family, and I talked to Dale about that. about could we possibly move the necklace more towards an Egyptian Middle Eastern theme, and Dale, being very generous, said, okay, well, we can probably do some changes here. So that's how it came about.
So Dale, why Tony? You put this ad in the paper and you obviously talked to several people. Why Tony?
He just had so much enthusiasm for the project, and Tony has so much energy that he was the clear choice.
So what was the reaction when he asked you?
Oh, I was delighted. You know, finally I would get my chance at doing the musical, you know, the lifetime ambition of writing a musical. So I was very pleased. Yeah.
I suppose the important question now is, what do you do to get a production, to get it produced? It's one thing writing it, but you've really got to market it. So what do you do?
Absolutely. Well, there's an adage for writers to always tell everyone you know that you're writing something. And so both of us told everyone we knew that we had written a musical. Tony has a family friend, Bill Colburn, who was actually president of the board of directors of the Theater on the Mountains at that time. And Bill also, by the way, became our producer, a wonderful producer. So we talked to him, and he says, well, you'd have to present it to the board. And they liked it very much, and we were on our way.
Good. So did you do everything together, or did you split the production jobs into two?
From the production jobs, well, we split the writing of the musical kind of into two. Dale was strictly, you know, had written the book. He put some sample lyrics in. I had started writing the music, and we continued on that way with me primarily being the musical director or musical writing, and adding up the lyrics from Dale's basic lyrics. I formed that into structured lyrics around the specific songs that we had. And then, but we on the story and the lyrics, we kind of worked together. You know, where there needed to be some changes going on in the story or that kind of thing, we sort of worked together on that.
Right.
Negotiated, I should say, right?
Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely. Arm wrestled sometimes.
Compromised too.
Arm wrestled sometimes.
Yeah,
Well, that's how you get a good product, listening to each other and working together.
Exactly.
Right.
So, talking about the plot, tell me what is the theme of the story?
A meek 50s family mother holds her family together during times of crisis with the aid of a mystical magic necklace. Where she got this necklace is that she got it when she was age 16 from her sweetheart, who was visiting here from Cairo, Egypt. And he gave it to her, and then he was forced by his family to leave the country because he had to go marry someone back there. And basically, she kept this as a talisman over many, many different years, a secret.
Did you write any of the music at all before Tony got involved in it? Or?
No. No music. I just had an idea of tempo.
Okay. So he tells you what the tempo is, and then you go with it. So what comes first, the lyrics or the music?
Well, typically, I like to get the story of the song, what's the background of the song. And I like to get a title sorted out so that you know, we know what's going to be the key element in the song and the grabber, or, and typically that then sets the stage for the music. So you get a little bit of a background for the song, the title, maybe the chorus ideas sorted out, and you structure that down. And then you start coming up with musical ideas that'll reflect that. And then as this is the way I work, as the music comes along, verse by verse, I then put the lyrics back into it so I can kind of see the way things develop. It's very much a hand-in-glove exercise to put the two together.
Okay, well, let's show the title song, and then we'll talk about how that song came together. And Dale, perhaps you'll tell us where it comes in the actual story.
The song, Necklace of Love, comes in after the different family crises, the ones of each individual, kind of comes to a head.
Together by are bound forever by life's precious fiber on this necklace of love. Round and around we continue to dance in this mystical masquerade, hiding our fears and watching the years slip by. Slowly we spin on the big wheel of chance, ever trapped in our own charade. We can still long to sever the bonds and fly. Waken the mysterious power and the fortune that flows from this necklace of love. What if our fantasy life became real? Would our destiny really change? Could we not find a love just as kind and true? Or the cards deal an unlucky hand and a joker you can't exchange. Better to play the hand that is safe for you. These gems in your life, every one is a jewel on this necklace of love. On this necklace of love. On this necklace of love.
So how did the lyrics come to you for that particular song?
And that one, we were trying to get a sort of mysterious, little bit of a mysterious sound in it, a sort of flowing song, and I chose a waltz time, a 3/4 time, but a fairly fast one. And the lyrics had to be sort of metaphorical in some respects, and because she's reflecting on what life would be like if she could have possibly gone off to Egypt and married her sweetheart, and how that compared with her existing life, and but she still loved her family, and so all of these somewhat metaphysical ideas had to kind of be blended into the song somehow. So that was the theme for the lyrics. Yeah.
So how did you go about composing the music then?
The music, I really wanted to get a Middle Eastern motif in there, and played around with the classical Middle Eastern scale, which is a little bit different from the Western scales, and until I came up with a fairly simple theme that was actually alternating between major key and minor key, and I was kind of fascinated by that mix. Mm-hmm. And I had to have a sort of flow to it, but the same was a little dark mystery about it as well, and I think we achieved that.
I think you did too. So the orchestra then, did you compose the pieces for each of the pieces in the orchestra? How does that work?
In orchestrating it, that is a complicated situation. I typically will write the song, what's called the lead sheet music, which is the single line of music of melody, and write the words into it as well, the lyrics into it as well. And then you take that, and now it's got to be converted into an orchestrated piece of music, and we selected or decided that we needed about a 15-piece orchestra in this particular venue, and we fortunately managed to find an excellent musical director named Bob Russell, and Bob and Kathy Russell, the two people that were our sort of primary cheerleaders almost at the beginning of the show. They were really supporting the necklace development. Bob was the director, and he also in fact orchestrated about half the songs, and and then incorporated it into his selected orchestra, about 14 or 15 pieces we had, and he also put me on to another orchestrator in the area, younger person named Thomas Tomasello, who was kind of one of Bob's proteges.
Morgan Hill.
And Morgan Hill, right, recent local guy, and he did the rest of the songs.
The songs and the orchestra together, sometimes it blows my mind when The lead character is singing "All She Wants Is a Bathroom" and the orchestra is playing. How do you think of that?
Well, that one was intended to be. We wrote this fairly standard family song at the beginning, called "All a Mother Wants," where Evelyn, the lead in the show, is talking about her family primarily, how much love she's got for her family, and it's a nice, somber, kind of steady song. And then when we got to the point much later in the show when the second bathroom idea comes up, we said maybe we could make a parody of our original song. So we wrote the second bathroom into that. Her need for a second bathroom, and it became a comedy song, but it was the same melody.
We lived in a house with one bathroom, of course, and she always wanted a second bathroom. So that became a rather significant part of the piece, her desire for that second bathroom.
That's great.
Yeah.
I'm sure our audience would love to hear a short medley of some of the songs. Would you do that for us,
Sure.
Tony?
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
This song is a little Dixieland swing piece called Dave's Place. Roll the dice, I've got 7, ain't it nice? I'm in heaven, things are bopping at Dave's Place. Watch those dancing shoes, hit that beat, you're fantastic. 2 left feet, and I'm gymnastic. Ain't no stopping at Dave's Place, 'cause I'm entranced with you. I'm such a lucky guy, think that I could fly. Dave's is jumping, my house thumping, you are the reason why. Don't stop now, the music's moving, take a bow, but keep on moving. When we're dancing at Dave's Place, and I'm romancing you. When we're dancing at Dave's Place, and I'm romancing you. The last one I'm going to do is actually the romantic song of the show called Nuances of Love. This is Dale's title. I think it's a great title. And we do this to with a traditional lead-in introduction, just typical of the melodies written in the 1950s and 40s and 50s. So I'm just going to play this piece.
So auditions, did you both have a part in selecting the singers?
Yes, we did. Tony and I were at all of the auditions, and we were able to be part of the selection process.
Did you both agree?
Mostly, I think mostly we agreed. Certainly with the lead roles, which was for Evelyn, we'd sort of pre-screened about 3 or 4 Evelyns, and we came to the agreement that Bobby Ward was the one we wanted to have.
Bobby Lynn Ward, that's right.
That's right.
But we had really, I think, 4 excellent
potential
choices
Evelyns
for that particular role.
Yeah.
So a musical, we think about the dancing. Were there many dance numbers?
Yes, actually, we've got probably maybe 2/3 of the songs are dance numbers. Had a very good choreographer, Lisa Ferreira, and she was also actually the director of the theatre, and she came in and helped out for the choreography. And some of the dances at the beginning, we had dribble set shoot where all the kids are on doing their thing with a basketball theme, and then quite a bit of twist dancing. The twist was just about in at that era, and so we had some of the girls doing the twist, and some other sort of romantic type themes, and a comedy theme, big comedy song we had. So yeah, quite a few dances.
Many.
So you obviously work together. How similar are your work styles? They complement each other?
I would say, even though we're wearing much the same color shirt today, which was just serendipity,
Right.
that I think our work styles are very different. I tend to be a very subjective kind of person. Everything just kind of develops and flows without too much analysis or prior planning.
Yeah, my background is engineering as a professional, and I tend to be a bit more structured and analytical. So Dale always tells me I analysis paralysis or something. I don't know.
Not sure I said it,
but that's what I did, a lot of that, and have a slightly different style. But we'd get together every month at the beginning, and then every week towards the end to go over the latest, and we work it out.
Well, it definitely worked. Did you solicit any feedback from people to find out if you're on the right track?
Yes, certainly family and friends. My partner gave me a lot of feedback throughout the whole process, and the main thing that we did was a staged reading. We had a staged reading at De Anza College where we invited theater professionals, and we got a great deal of constructive, wonderful feedback from that helped a lot in the process.
Yeah, it's pretty handy.
How did it feel on opening night when you saw all your work? What did it feel like? What were your
Great.
thoughts?
Yeah, particularly hearing the songs I'd written played by a full orchestra in a hall. It was just wonderful. It really gave me chills, that did. It was excellent. Yeah.
Were there any big challenges or just the normal challenges?
I think my main challenge was collaborating. I've almost always in the past written everything by myself, and even my last musical, I wrote the full book. I wrote the script and the lyrics, and so this was quite different. Working with Tony, not only on the music and the songs, but Tony gave me a tremendous amount of feedback throughout the process and some very valuable suggestions on the piece. I tend to write with what I call a velvet hammer. Tony came in a little bit more with a hammer on the anvil, I think,
Heavier than a velvet.
and I needed that, and it brought more angst into the piece.
Yeah.
What about the musical challenges?
Yeah, a lot of musical challenges. And the actual music writing itself, it was demanding a lot of different kind of approaches to each of the songs. It was a family show, but it had this kind of exotic theme running through it, and some of the ideas that we tried to incorporate that. So it ended up being a sort of an eclectic mix of music. It's quite a different, it's from comedy to romance to mystery to it's like almost a jazz tune in it, and that kind of thing. So a lot of eclectic mix of that. But yeah.
I noticed just from the medley, there's different music. It just all blended together beautifully.
Different feel. That's right. Yeah.
So what did you learn from this, both of you?
Tony?
Well, I think primarily my main thought about when we were doing this was how we were going to get the orchestration done. Just a tremendous challenge. It's one thing to write a song and write the lead sheet, like the melody and the lyrics down, and get that done, and you think, oh, that's 90% of it done. In actual fact, you're about 45% at that point in the work effort required to get it the other part. Yeah.
What about the people that want to write something, Dale? What advice would you give to them?
Well, I think every person in every family has a story, and I know many people want to write, and I think the first thing to do is just write down key memories from your own life. Write down the key memories, critical incidents, if you will, and get it on paper. And then I think kind of do as I did in a way, maybe do some depth work on your characters and your outline, but primarily get it on paper. I write everything first with a pen and paper myself.
So do you have another musical in mind, the two of you, or are you going to retire gracefully now?
Tony?
Well, I'm thinking about other musicals, yeah, what we could possibly work on. Had some ideas and sort of scratching around some thoughts, getting a little bit of outlines and things like that done, doing a bit of work. I'm associated with the West Coast songwriters fairly heavily. Have been for 20 or 25 years actually, and there's quite a lot of opportunity to work on, modern projects, new projects like that. So hopefully that's going to work out. Yeah.
Well, we've reached the end of the program now, so I wanted to thank you both for coming. Dale, I really, really enjoyed watching the DVD of the program. I wish all our audience could do it.
Thank you.
You've done a great job. Two seniors here doing a great job.
Right.
And I think it's just fitting, if you wouldn't mind, Tony, if you could take us out with the title theme of Necklace, that would be
Certainly.
great. Bye for now. We hope that you've enjoyed the show. Join us again.